Good morning, you guys. It's Thursday morning. It's a little later in the morning. We've been out and about already. I just didn't film anything. We took Michael to work, and then I had to run over to Walmart to pick a few things up. One of my things on my to-do list today is to make a recipe binder, and so I needed to pick up some the little tabs to separate everything. Anyways, after that, we came back home. Well, kind of home. We went to the park near our house to pick more blackberries. I was hoping to pick enough to have another batch of jam or syrup, but the picking just wasn't good. I think a mixture of the berries that are ripe are kind of withered from being in the middle of this heat wave that we're having, and then the others aren't ripe yet. So I picked enough for snacking, and then we'll go back in a couple days and pick some more. So we don't have a lot planned for today just because it is going to be hot. I think it's a high of 104 or 5 or something like that. So we're going to be kind of inside. We are going to go out one more time. We're going to go to the thrift store, and then we're also going to go to a local used bookstore. I got a gift card as part of the reading program prizes, and I wanted to use that. So that's really the only thing out of the house that we're going to do today. And then as far as around here, just the everyday cleaning, I want to make that recipe book. I know there's something else. I wrote it down, but I forgot. So let me go grab my planner and I'll show you guys everything on my to-do list. This is my to-do list for today. Like I said, I'm going to make that recipe book or binder, the thrift store, the bookstore, and then I need to prep some chicken that Michael marinated. Well, I don't need to prep it. I need to cook it, put it in the crock pot, and then bake some potatoes and steam some broccoli. And then when I went grocery shopping this week, if you haven't seen it, I just posted a pantry stock up video, and I did buy some things that we can use for this week. But anyways, I didn't make a meal plan for that, so I need to go through it and come up with a few dinner ideas. That should be easy enough. I have plenty of stuff in the freezer too, so I need to do that as well for today. And then other than that, it's just regular cleaning, the 5 loads of dishes that I'm going to do, and I do need to catch up on laundry. So that is my plan for this super hot lazy Thursday. So we're headed to the bookstore, and the lady that runs the bookstore allows you to take your books in and get credit for them. So I just have a few books that I've either read and wasn't a huge fan of, or tried reading and couldn't even get a few pages in. So yeah, I'm gonna see if she's interested in any of these, and if she's not, I'll just take them to the thrift store.
This cute winging thing.
All right, so we made it back. We went to the bookstore first, in that bookstore was amazing. It was huge. I had no clue. When you see it from the outside, it looks like a super tiny building, but it leads really, really far back. And then there was like that weird hallway that I posted like a video, like a little clip of. I traded those books in. How it works is she gives you a price, and then it's very old school. She writes your first and last name, your phone number, and then how much credit you have. So for those books that I showed you, I ended up getting $18 worth of credit, which is great because I've either bought those at the Dollar Tree or the thrift store. I did buy a few of them on Thrift Books. So, and then what you do is you bring up the books that you want to buy, and you get to use half of the price from your credit. So I think my total was like 12 something, and then I only had to pay $6 out of pocket because I used part of my credit. So that was super nice. And even then I didn't have to pay out of pocket because I had a gift card. So I'll show you really quick what I picked up at the bookstore, and then I'll show you really quick what I picked up at the thrift store. At the bookstore, I just picked up 2 books. They did have a Gooseberry Patch cookbook that I thought about getting, but once I looked more at the recipes, I don't think it was really anything that I'd ever used. There was a whole section for microwave cooking, and we don't even own a microwave. So I got this. I was super excited to find this. My parents have this same book, and I think I was like 12 years old and I learned how to like make butter. So it's got a lot of cool information, and I don't know where the price was on this one. Oh, right here. This one was $6. So this is a super cool book. It teaches you a whole bunch of stuff about going back to the basics. So I picked this book up, and then I saw this one. Now, I am not a Calvin and Hobbes fan, but Michael is, and I thought this would be a really fun book for him to look at with the kids. And this one was $7.50. So I picked that one up. And then the kids, she has like a whole room full of free books and a couple boxes of free books. And it's books that are damaged or have like, this one has a mark on it. So they picked these books out as their little free books. And then once we're done with them, we'll just pass them along to the little free library. The last thing that I picked up at the bookstore was these stickers. I thought these were super cute. They were $2 a piece. She said she ordered them from some lady in Portland a couple years back. And I don't know, I thought they'd look really cute on my Hydro Flask. So my Hydro Flask is a bright yellow, so I thought this would be cute. And then this little Book Babe one. So I bought those 2 from her. And that was everything that I got at the bookstore. This is the name of the bookstore, Main Street Books Revisited. I'll see if I can like link a website or something, or if you're local, go in and check it out. I had like the best experience there. She was super friendly, super helpful. If you're local, I would definitely check it out. My first find at the thrift store was this like candlestick holder glass. I don't know, it's kind of got like for a lamp, but it holds, you just take this off and put like a little tea light in there. So I thought this was super cute, and these are a lot of the colors that we have in our house is like this cream and wood. I actually have these 2 pieces of decor over here. We're gonna redo a spot on the wall in the living room, and so I thought that these would go together very well. And the last thing that I got at the thrift store were just a few books for our collection. I have a really hard time saying no to books, and I always feel like there's such a good price there that even if we don't read them and we give them to the free library, it's totally worth it. For these 4 books and that candlestick lamp thing that I got, she only charged me $4. So, I mean, that is so cheap. So I got Matilda. I've never read this book, but I can tell I'm gonna love it. I loved the movie when I was a kid. I got one of the books in the Chronicles of Narnia series. We have 1 or 2 other books, and I've slowly just been finding them at thrift stores and adding till we have the whole collection. And then my last 2 books, I haven't read either of these as well. So I'm really excited to add these to the collection, our little library. I'm not sure when we'll get to them, or if it's something that Oakley will read just to herself, but I figured for, you know, less than $1, that's a pretty good deal. So I got my supplies ready for putting together like my little recipe binder. This was a binder that we already had. I think Oakley used it last year, but she won't need it this year. So I'm gonna get that. And then these are all the recipes that I've printed off and used. Some are folded, some have stains. It is what it is. I would like to have them all fresh and new, but I'm not going to waste my time or the paper and ink to reprint them. So, oh, I need to get sheet protectors. I have sheet protectors somewhere. I'll slip them in there. And then I just got some dividers. I think I'm going to do like crock pot meals, sauces, like cookies, breads, that kind of thing. So, I mean, worst case scenario, I change my mind and then I just change the tab. So I'm going to put this together really quick. It shouldn't take long at all. Cookies, slope, All right, my recipe binder is done. I found this cute little printout online. I'll try to link it. I thought it would look good since the binder's pink and there's some pink in there. So this is it. I noticed that on these like little tab things, it's kind of hard to read, but that's okay. This is my bread folder for like sweet and savory. Just all the ones I've printed off. I do have some recipes on recipe cards and I'll just leave them in my box. But there's breads, there's like cookies and desserts. These are like my favorite cookies.
Those are all mine too.
I don't know, because Ranger cookies are pretty good too. But homemade donuts, moose farts, pumpkin pie, and just like regular yellow cake. This right here is my slow cooker folder. I only have one recipe in there. And then this is a dinner file. And again, only one recipe. Oh no, 2 recipes. Instant Pot pinto beans too. Those are super good. And then the last thing is like syrups and sauces and sides, that kind of thing. So I have my blackberry syrup and then my green enchilada sauce. So that's what I have for the binder so far. I'm sure eventually I'll have to get a bigger binder than just this like 1 inch, but it's a nice start. Turn, bud. Nice. Okay, so this is the last one. Nice.
Man called out. Run fast as you can. You can't catch me in the gingerbread man. The farmers went fast, but the gingerbread man went faster, and the farmers had to sit.
It's almost 6:30 and the kids are hungry. They've been asking for dinner for about an hour now and I just keep telling them to wait. It's hot and I don't feel like cooking and we're just gonna have a snack plate for dinner. I have some leftover of that canned chicken. I found some olives in the fridge, some sliced up cucumbers. I'm gonna peel and slice this carrot, 2 apples, and then these peanut butter cups were from the school, so I figured they get to have apples and peanut butter. And then just some Ritz to dip into the canned chicken, and then also some of these rosemary jalapeno crackers. So I'm just gonna really quickly put this little snack board together. far from fancy or pretty, but it gets the job done. And Barrett was excited. He saw it and he said, oh my goodness, that looks like a feast.
I'm doing butterfingers. I mean, all the fingers.
Are you? Let me see.
Ta-da! Hello. My fingers are just burning to death.
Eat them.
No.
So the kids are going to have a picnic style dinner. I was going to eat, but then I had a cup of coffee and that kind of makes me not hungry. So they're going to have a picnic style and we're going to watch Beethoven. All right, Michael just called and he's on his way home. It's his weekend starting now. So tonight, once the kids go to bed, we're going to stay up late. We rented a movie last night, 21 Jump Street, and we started it, but we didn't get to finish it. So we're going to finish that. We're going to prep a little bit more of his food. I know on my to-do list, I said I wanted to prep the chicken, the broccoli, and the potato, but it was just too hot and I didn't want to heat up the house anymore. So the chicken is done. And we just needed to do the broccoli and potatoes tonight. So we're going to do that once it cools down a bit. And then I want to find a new book to read. I might look at that Back to Basics one, just to kind of get some ideas. So that's kind of our plan for the end of the evening. The kids are almost done with dinner, and then I'll get them changed into pajamas. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for tagging along today, and we'll see you on the next one.